Class 6, Phrases and Clauses. On this class we are going to talk about phrases and clauses and the principal differences. For that, first we need to explain the definition of both of them. To start this class, what is a phrase? Well, a phrase is a part of a sentence which consists of a group of words that give more information about the subject, action, or event in a sentence. A phrase cannot stand on its own and will not convey meaning if separated from the sentence. According to English grammar, there are several different types of phrases that serve a number of purposes in English grammar, but here are some of the most common types of phrases. Number 1. Noun phrase. A noun phrase consists of a noun and its adjective modifiers. In the sentence "the young smart student will graduate," the noun phrase is "the young smart student." 2. Verb phrase. A verb phrase that consists of a verb and its modifiers. In the sentence "my mother was walking briskly," the verb phrase is "was walking briskly." 3. Gerund phrase. A phrase that begins with a gerund, a verb ending with ing that functions as a noun, and its modifiers. For example, in the sentence "reading books is enjoyable," the gerund phrase is "reading books." 4. Infinitive phrase. An infinitive phrase that begins with an infinitive verb that begins with to. In the sentence "Gerard's dream is to study the classics," the infinitive phrase is "to study the classics." 5. Appositive phrase. An appositive phrase redefines a noun with essential or non-essential information that is enclosed with commas. In the sentence "Malcolm, my brother, is a scientist," the appositive phrase is "my brother." 6. Participial phrase. A participial phrase begins with a past or present participle which involves modifying a verb to use as an adjective or a noun. For example, in the sentence "having taken the time to prepare, the orchestra performed beautifully," the participle phrase is "having taken the time to prepare." 7. Prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase that begins with a preposition to describe the position or state of the subject of a sentence. In the sentence "the baker piped icing on the cake," the prepositional phrase is "on the cake." 8. Absolute phrase. An absolute phrase has a subject but not an action verb, and it is used to modify a whole sentence. For example, in the sentence "he left the room, hips hip swinging," the absolute phrase is "his hips swinging." Now it's the time to understand what a clause is. Well, a clause is a part of a sentence that functions dependently or independently as a complete thought. Clauses contain a subject, which is the actor, and a verb, which is the action the subject performs. Sentences are made up of independent and dependent clauses that describe a subject, where they are, the mood, and the action they are taking. There are 4 types of clauses used in English grammatical constructions. First, main clause. The main clause of a sentence contains a subject and a verb. It can stand alone as its own sentence or can be combined with a subordinate clause to provide more information. For example, a simple main clause could be, "She turned on the TV." But if we want to add more information, we combine a subordinate clause and add, "because she was boring." And the sentences would be, "She turned on the TV because she was boring." Subordinate clause. A subordinate clause is a secondary clause connected to the main clause with a subordinate conjunction like because, as, or while. A subordinate clause can also be connected to the main clause with coordinating conjunctions like or, but. Without the conjunction, a subordinate clause could be the main clause, but the subordinate conjunction makes it an incomplete thought. For example, in the sentence "he fell because he was tripped," the subordinate clause is "because he was tripped." Adjective clause. An adjective clause, also known as an adverbial clause, is a dependent clause that attaches to the main clause using a relative pronoun like who, whom, whose, which, or that, or by using a relative adverb such as when, where, or why. For example, in the sentence "she cried when Brad dumped her," the adjective clause is "when Brad dumped her." And finally, noun clause. A noun clause is a clause that replaces a single noun. For example, "the gold medal goes to the winner" can become, "the gold medal goes to whoever wins the race." The noun clause is "whoever wins the race," as it replaced the noun, "the winner." This is all for this video. Check all of our videos to learn more. See you later.